Good morning, this is Faith and Books, and I'm going to do an update and my June TBR. But first I'm going to take a sip of coffee. It's kind of chilly out this morning. It's June 1st. I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend. I did a lot of gardening. And I woke up this morning and my hips decided that I had done too much, so now I can barely walk. But anyway, my update. I finished reading The Tale of Holly Howe, which is the Cozy Mystery series by Susan Wittig Albert, unless it's Susan Albert Wittig. No, I think it's Susan Wittig Albert. These are mysteries. They're called the Cottage Tales of Beatrix Potter, and they're cozy mysteries. This is steam from my coffee. And they're really, really good. They're just quiet, cozy mysteries. Everything about them is good. She writes really well. Character development is really good. It's very clever and very much in the spirit of Beatrix Potter. And it really follows Beatrix Potter's actual life very closely. Very, very well done. So in this second book, I forget the name of the first one, Hilltop Farm. It's about her farm, was the first one, I believe. But this one, The Tale of Holly Howe, is about how Beatrix, there's really two mysteries. One is a continuation from the first book. It has to do with one of the characters in the village, Miss Nash, and whether or not she'll become the head of Sari School. And there's a whole mystery around that one. And then there's another mystery because Beatrix Potter goes to get some sheep that she has purchased. And she was very involved in reviving this one breed of sheep. She goes to buy some from this farmer and she finds him dead. So there's really two mysteries going on. It's really well done. Badgers are very important. There's a guinea pig. And the animals talk to each other just like humans. So it's got lots of really charming characters. Really well done. I highly recommend them. And I'm going to, at some point I'm going to read more in the series. I don't know how many are out right now. Maybe 4? I'm not sure. But I'm going to read the next one, at some time soon. Very nice. The other thing I did, and I just did it this morning, so I just got in under the wire, maybe a little bit not under the wire because it's June 1st, and this was the May read-along. But I finished Purgatorio. Sorry, I'm wiping up my cleaning up thing, getting the book stamped. Anyway, I finished Purgatorio, and I found this really interesting. And I know I'm missing tons, even though it's my second time reading it. I will say for this Hollander edition, their translation, while it's very, very thorough and academic, it's more poetic in the translation, maybe, more lyrical. It's also more obscure, I find, like a little bit unnecessarily so. And I think I really do like the Isolin translation the best. That's Anthony Isolin's translation I read last year. And I really do think he has a clarity and a succinctness about his translation. It's still poetic, but it's not like sort of more high-flung like this is. So I enjoyed this. It was good to read another translation, but I think the Isolin sort of lends an easier understanding, although this has tons of notes. What I found really valuable about this edition is each canto has an outline that explains what's going on in each line. So if I read that and then I read the canto itself, I understood a lot more. And then there's tons and tons of notes at the end of each canto. And I would only sort of look, if there were a particular couple of things that puzzled me, I would go and read them. But I just didn't spend the time reading all of it because it's really, really in-depth. And I just couldn't go there. But I enjoyed Purgatorio. It is... the Inferno is very dark and it's gloomy, heavy, kind of twisted, and it's got a whole different feel to it. Purgatorio is one where even though people are, making reparations for the harm their sins have done, but they know they're going to be saved, and so it's suffering, but you know that at the end it's going to work out. Like, made me think of a woman in childbirth. You're going to have a baby, and you just have to get through this, and so that's sort of the attitude of all the people that he meets along the way. There's a lot of beautiful imagery. There's a lot of a sense of being on this journey. You're climbing this mountain. You're seeing these beautiful views. You're seeing the stars. You're seeing rivers and seas, and there's a lot of sense of moving, like you're walking and talking with other people, and some people hang back to talk to you, and then they move ahead. There's always this sense of movement going on. I do not agree with Dante on his order of the sins. Like the worst sins are at the bottom of the mountain that you have to climb up, and there's a terrace for each sin as you move through them. And I really came to disagree with him. And there's so much that I miss, because there's so much reference to classical mythology, and which I just don't have a strong handle on. But I found it very interesting. I enjoyed reading it. I hope they're going to have a live discussion for the read-along. So we've been discussing it a little bit at the Discord page. But I found it really interesting, and now I'm going to move on to Paradisio, or I think Dorothy L. Sayers just calls it Paradise. I'm going to read this translation, because I only have, for Paradisio, I only have Sayers and Longfellow's, and I find Longfellow a bit clunky, and it doesn't have the glossing and the notes and stuff. So I've never read Paradisio. I had read Inferno before, just once, and I'd read Purgatorio before, just once. So this is my first time getting to this. I'm pretty excited about that. And I've read a different translation each time for this read-along. I read the Solon's Inferno, and then I read the Jean Hollander and Robert Hollander's Purgatorio, and now I'm going to read Sayers. So I'm going to get started with that. And this is going to be something I'm just going to read slowly all month. There's 33 cantos? Yeah, so I'll have to read, it's almost a canto a day for the month of June, but then at the 3 days I'll have to double up a little bit or something, but I can get it done. So I'm excited about starting that. So this is my first June TBR. Paradise by Dorothy L. Sayers. And then, let's see, what else am I doing for June? I'm doing my regular stuff. I'm still reading the Bible with the Read a Bible in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz. And we're going to finish up Ecclesiastes tomorrow, and then we're going to go to the Gospel of Mark. We're also working our way through 1 Kings, and we're still reading the Psalms. So that's going to be an ongoing thing as well in June. And then I'm still reading Strength to Love with my Christian Social Justice Book Club. I got to read, that's tonight. Are we doing it tonight? I better read this. I got to read chapter 6 today. Oh boy, I'm thrown off because of the 3-day weekend. Usually I start it on Monday night, but I forgot because of the weekend. So I'm going to read that. I need to read that today. And then every Sabbath I'm reading this with my husband, a chapter a day. A chapter a Saturday. So, all right. And then the other things that I want to read for June. So I want to get back into the presidential read-along. And it's going on, and it's hosted by Raj, I think, and I forget the name of his channel. He has a Discord page for it. I attempted Thomas Jefferson last month, but I really didn't like the book that I got, and it was too much because I was trying to read Les Miserables at the same time. And I found out, sadly, because I'm still sad about DNFing that there's going to be a read-along. I don't know if it's this month or next month. I heard it from Christy at Dostoevsky in Space. And they're going to take 3 months to read it. And I might chime in, not chime in, but I might just, peek into any sort of discussions they're having, just to find out more about it. Because maybe I'll go back and try it again. I don't know. I'm sad that I DNF'd it, but on the other hand, I couldn't stand Victor Hugo. So, all right. But the next president to read about is James Madison. And I got 2 books out of the library. I got this one, and I showed this on Instagram. They also have the Noah Feldman, which is the most recent. Yeah, but that was like 637 pages, and each of these are 300 and some pages. And I just wasn't going to devote 637, densely written pages to James Madison. Sorry, even though it's supposed to be a really good biography of him. I just decided I couldn't do that much. I think maybe the official one that people are reading, you can pick your own biography, but they do have one that they recommend, 1 or 2. And I think the one they're doing is by, he wrote a blurb for this, Ralph Ketchum, I think is the one that they're reading, but I heard it was dry, and the library didn't have it anyway. So, between these 2, Peg from the History Shelf knew of this one, but I decided I wasn't going to read this guy because he just seems really, really super libertarian conservative, so like he would be kind of biased. I was just looking at his own bio. He wrote some politically incorrect guide to the Constitution with Thomas E. Woods. I know I don't like Thomas E. Woods, so I thought, he seems like he's going to be really slanted. So this guy appealed to me more. His name is Michael Siner, and he actually went to the University of Virginia Law School. He lives in Virginia. He's involved in Virginia's politics, and he just, he's a Virginian writing about a famous Virginian, and so I thought, I like his better. And this one is not a full biography. It's Becoming Madison, The Extraordinary Origins of the Least Likely Founding Father by Michael Siner. And he basically just goes up to 1789. So he's got a timeline in the front. So it's just about what got Madison to write the Bill of Rights, like just what led up to that. And then it seems like he has a big epilogue where he kind of winds up the rest of Madison's life. But he's interested in how Madison came to be the champion of the Bill of Rights. So I've started reading it, and it's very enjoyable. I'm enjoying it. So that is my presidential readathon entry for the month of June on James Madison. Then, let's see, what else? Oh, this is really fun. At the last minute, I joined Mark at Book Time with Elvis. He's doing a thing for the Euro 2020 soccer, or they don't call it that, football, whatever it is, championship. And I'm gonna try and watch some of the games. But I asked if I could participate. I came in late, and I was really glad because he drew Finland for me. And he doesn't know how grateful I am to him. Mark, I'm very grateful to you because I have been meaning to reread the Moomintroll books for years now. I didn't read all of them initially, but I read a bunch of them aloud to my kids, and I love them. They're absolutely charming, and so I have been meaning to read them all, and I'm going to start June 11th, reading these in really good books. They're little fantasy books set in this magical world of the Moomintrolls. And I've read Finn Family Moomintroll, Comet in Moominland, that was great. Moominland in Midwinter, that was good. I don't think I've read that one. I don't think I've read this one. I don't think I've read that one either. But I know I read Moomin Summer Madness. I absolutely love that one, Moomin Summer Madness. So I'm going to read the Moomintroll series. I'm going to start in June, and then I'm just going to casually work my way through them. And so that is really, really fun. I'm excited about that. Then the other 2 things that I'd like to do during June is I'd like to get back to reading my Arthur Ransome Swallows and Amazons series, and the next one is Coot Club. So I would like to at least get started on this in June. And I also want to read the first, what are they doing back there? They're always doing some kind of noisy thing in the neighborhood behind me. But I want to read at least the first book of Aya, and see if I can get my friend from Cote d'Ivoire, if I can interview her about that at some point in June. So that is my lineup for June and my wrap up of what I most recently finished in May. And so I'm excited. I'm feeling good. So I hope that you are doing well. Take care and happy reading. Bye.